Hey, Creative Mom Kamela here, and I've got two ColorStreet tricks that I want to show you today. Let's jump in. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is show you how to make that French tip with it's called a penny trick. I used a dime. The dime worked great for my size nail, and it's just what I found first. So you want to pull out a strip that matches the size of your nail style, and then you grab your dime and any type of writing utensil. A standard ballpoint ink pen actually worked perfectly. And this one has a little bit of a darker bottom. So what I did is I came around, on top of it. But you could get lots of French tips out of one of these, especially because these three nails could probably, most of them are close enough to the same size that you could make it work out of one, which I think is awesome. So I came up just above that line. I have a little bit of it. And then I drew my half little circle at the same as my dime. And then you take your scissors and cut that half circle piece off. I used my good crafting scissors and it cut it really nicely. And then the part you wrote on is your top cover, so it comes right off. So I'm going to go ahead and peel that off. So now that's gone and that's trash. And then you go for the silver tab, the tab on them, and pull it off. And then you just line it up on the tip of your nail, just like this. And then I'm going to push like normal to each side, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this one off at my nail. And then I'm going to fold these edges under really well. But you could repeat the pattern again on the next part and get more than one out. So I'm just pushing that on really well. You do want to have your base color on first. So in my case, it was the purple. And you want to have it cure. So I would say put it on the night before, and then the next evening put your tips on. And that's a fun way to change up your mani too. You could leave this color and just have your nails your plain color for a little while, and then if your tips wear out, like sometimes mine do because I use my fingernails as tools, which we should not do, but then you could put your tips on then, and that's a fun way to extend a color. I used the fern, not so fern, what is it, Feeling Pine. I kept thinking fern. The fern was a second choice, but that's a different set. I used Feeling Pine. It was from our Christmas sets, and I didn't get to use it at Christmas because I had so many pretty sets. And then I also used Flake My Day as the purple. The flakes are not showing up in my camera, but it has a really pretty glitter shine to it. So then after I roll down my ends, just like when I do my solid colors, I roll those ends down and I let them sit until I finish my entire manicure. And then I file those off in one motion. So I will leave this until, until they start bugging me, because you'll feel them on the ends. And then I'll hit it with a nail file to get all those little ends from underneath off. All right. So, isn't that cute? I loved it. It was the perfect nod to Mardi Gras. While we're here, I want to talk about what I did on my ring finger. So I actually used my Cricut Explorer 3 to cut that. I'm going to tell you it was very tricky. If you follow my Facebook group, Joyful Creations, and I'll throw it on the Creative Mom Decant group too. So either one, they're linked in the description below. Then you will see the settings for that. I don't want to say it wrong, and it was very particular, and I tried 1,000 2Z pairs before I kind of figured it out. And it does definitely depend on the design and the size of the design. So it's really tricky, and I can't even remember if you keep the plastic on or off. But anyway, join one of those groups, and I'll definitely put that in there. I'll throw it in the description if I remember when I'm describing this. But that was cut with my Cricut Explorer 3. So, all right, I want to show you how I did this nail, which was absolutely stunning until I added the overlay to it. And it's okay, I liked it before, but I'm really excited because we're going to do another one, and I found my Clear as Day sleeve, so we're going to be able to cover it with Clear as Day, which is what I wish I would have done for this one. So let's do it on my thumb here. It was really, really easy. So I took, I'm going to grab this out, but yeah, okay. So this was a 2Z pack. And so I got it out, and then I used another piece of my Feeling Pine. And I'm going to see, I think I could use this one. Oh yeah, definitely. And all I did here was cut. And so I cut this at an angle. And then I went ahead and removed the plastic cover because, in my opinion, it's really hard to remove off of a little piece. So, and we're going to use this little piece. So then I cut another one, and I wanted them to just slightly angle to the other side. All right, now the tricky part, and I did find that my tweezers were a really easy way to get this off of here. That helped me get it off. With nails, it was hard to get off there, but removing the plastic cover and using a tweezer was a big help. All right, so then what I did is I just cinched this the way I wanted it to move and lined it up on my nail. Sorry. And the cool thing is, so it doesn't quite touch here like I want it to. So the cool thing is, you can, if you wait, you can usually pull this back up. And I did ruin it, but I can start again. So that's really convenient. So let's do one more strip here. I'm going to cut it again. I might have chose a nail that was a little too small. Like if you use those big thumbnails, if you don't have to use those are an extra. Those would be really great. And I am trying to do a thumb here, so I'm having to kind of be careful. It may just not stretch, and I may have to cave, and yep, I'm going to have to cave. The cool thing about being a stylist is you get so many perks that it definitely makes me more brave to use them, to try things out. The other thing is save these packages. So you notice I don't have any of my paper parts, cardboard out today, because these are all just ones that I've put up. See the end of that? You can use a hair straightener, or because I'm in my craft room when I do my nails, I use my Cricut Easy Press, and it works to close up the packages. I opened all these up, but it works just fine. All right, let's cut this one more time and hope for success. So save all the scraps because they allow you to do things like this. The mask on this nail was a 2Z as well, but it would have made a perfect scrap if you kept it. It was the Long Time No See, and I loved the green. I just cut it out of the center of that so it didn't have the blue tips, but I loved it. In fact, I put that set on my wish list. All right, so where are we at here? Back to here, and this is definitely going to fit better this time. I loved that this green had so many colors in it that it really pulled and gravitated towards the purple, so it made it really pretty. So this one is going to be a little wider than the first one, but if you don't like your first strip, you can cover one way or another. So I'm going to do the same thing by pushing this to the edge of my nail, and then I'm going to cut this one and get the same idea out of it. And I'm just going to throw this 2Z extra back in a pack and keep it too. This has a little bit of purples in it, and it went really well with the Flake My Day. It just made the purples really pop. It's a really pretty color. It has, you know, purples or maroons inside the brown. Boy, I loved it. It's one of my favorites, always has been. All right. So I think this one is a little bit thick still too, so I'm going to cut it down before I place it. Okay. And then what you can do here is overlap a little bit so that you thin out the green a little. And also we're going to add striping, so that will help thin it out. Oh, I got crooked. All right, I need to go a little bit this way. Okay, perfect. That made it to my edge. And I don't think I took the plastic off this one because I can feel it. So you can tell if you forget to do that, it's real thick and it feels funny. So there, I got it lifted up. That did come off easy, but it does, and it sometimes makes you think that I didn't take it off this one either. I see it now, and that's a problem. Oh my. Okay. Yeah, make sure you remove that first. It's just much easier, and sometimes it'll make you think you've done something wrong. And it's just that in the way. All right, so isn't that fun? And that was two simple, you know, angly stripes that aren't perfect at all. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and file down this one. So one direction. The French that we did turned out super cute. I like this manicure. From being in Alabama, I really gravitated towards the fun colors and the creativity of Mardi Gras, and kind of have been looking into what Mardi Gras is and those things, and I encourage you to do it. I am celebrating Mardi Gras this year with the intention of celebrating Jesus's birth, and then as Lent hits, I'm going to work on, you know, my sacrifice and my giving more time to my prayer life. So I'm really excited to celebrate Mardi Gras. I threw some beads in my car, so I'm really, you know, thinking about fertility for women, and, you know, just the awesome positive things that I found by researching Mardi Gras. All right, so once that's down, we're ready to add our stripping. So I have gold stripping, is just what I chose here to go with my Mardi Gras look. And they have a little bitty seal. I sent some of these out last night. We had a party in my VIP ColorStreet group, and I am sending lots of these as prizes. And so I promised that I'd show how it works. So pull a little strip out and cut it. It's really easy to use once you figure it out, and you have to cover it. I'll talk about it in a second. And then I just laid the striping right where those two sets met, and then at the top and the bottom. So there's one piece, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to, you know, push it onto my nail and then just let the rest hang out. Why I do two more strips here. I lost my tail. There it is. It's real easy to find. You feel it. And I was generous with it just so that I didn't have any trouble. I wanted it to stick, and I'd played with it before, and I was kind of stingy, and it didn't work out well. So you want it to cover, just like really the nail polish, you want it to not be on your cuticles, but you want it to cover the entire nail. And it is great if you can line it up on something. That was helpful to me. So, you know, lining it up on the strips that I had cut just was really convenient. And I kind of am making them bend towards meeting here. And so that way I didn't have to perfectly line out this look, and I can't wait to do it with other colors. I just think with the striping, it just made my manicure pop. All right, so one more piece on the bottom. I'm going to cut this and get it on. And then I'll show you. It's simple to clean up. The top parts I clean up similar to I do my nail polish with a nail file. And then these parts that are hanging off the bottom edge or on the side here where I can't get to them with a nail file, I just took my scissors and I went right along the edge and snipped it. It's really easy to clip because it's just thin. So I just clipped it right where I wanted it. And then I can remove those. Well, I just flung my scrap pile. Oh, come on. It won't come off. It really won't. Okay, I'm done. It really does not want to come off. And obviously I'm not done because it's bugging me now. Okay. And then up here you can do the same thing. You can either use the nail file, which I'm going to do a little bit of because I've got the ColorStreet down there too. So the nail file. You don't want this to like bend over the edge like you do the nail polish. At least I didn't, because I found myself picking it. So if you're a nail picker, that would add to that. I also found that the striping will not stay on past an evening out if you don't cover it. So that's why, even though I couldn't find my clear as day sleeve, probably because I have too many, shh, don't tell anyone. Mostly my husband. Nah, he knows. It's all good. But I couldn't find my clear as day, so I used the Lavish Lavender, and it is pretty. But when you compared, I really liked it before way more. So I'm excited to find the clear as day, and this one's going to get the clear as day mark on it. Grab a nail file again and just smooth all this out. And I have one more little edge right here on my cuticle that I want to snip off. I don't want anything hanging over. All right. And now I'm going to grab my clear as day here. Come on. Maybe. I know I'm going to need a larger one. There it is. All right. Now I'm going to do my thumb one. And so this is just like your clear coat protector. And it's perfect for this. So I'm going to place it just like you do a normal ColorStreet strip. And I really let this one cure for a long time before I take it off. So, you know, do your tuck under and all of that, and then wait for a while before you file this one down. I've got a wrinkle. Sometimes when you get a wrinkle, you can pull them out. Oh, and I did. That's amazing. And then once this sets, so it will take a little bit, but it will be clear. So it does look a little cloudy at first, but it clears up just fine. I'm going to go ahead and file this one for filming purposes, but let that sit. One direction here. And now your nails feel smooth and it's protected. So super fun today. Thank you so much for joining. There's my Mardi Gras manicure. I'm going to add my French tip to this one. And I'm not sure what I will do on that one, but probably one of these again. Have a joyful day, friends. Thanks for watching. Bye.